Just because when I talk to my momos in my Discord or in my stream, it feels like such a close, tight knit community that gets me. Even if things go a little bit outside of my immediate sphere, people get it, right? Oh, yeah, she's feeling upset because of this. But there is a real reality that if I talk about how upset I am about something and it goes too far outside, that people might use it as a chance to try and shit on VShojo, or people might use it as a chance to try and on that kind of stuff. And I have to be careful. I think that's something that I need to be very mindful of. And I just wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to explain myself a little bit. That I rewatched the stream and I thought, I sounded a little upset, and I was. And I think it's something that I just need to do. Maybe that morning I should have gone for a long run. I should have done a nice 10K. Should have went for an hour run. Would have been better. That's kind of the problem, I think, with a lot of this is I know you get me, and I know that my Discord gets me, and I know that the VShojo audience get me, and I know that the VTuber audience get me. But then whenever you just keep going a little bit out there, there are people out there that don't like VShojo maybe. And there are people out there who are looking for opportunities to shit on VShojo. And if I am here talking about things that upset me, it could put a target when it's not a big deal, right? Like Lunar New Year, there was a mistake in how many units to order. It happens. Human error. We all do it. So I just want to be more mindful about that and not really give folks outside of VShojo that power to, because I do believe VShojo's merch has been incredible and they've really, really changed stuff around. Jinzu, have you gotten anything, by the way, merch wise? Because I got my Christmas stuff right away. It'd be nice to have member streams that are more private. I actually, I want to be very mindful of how I say this. So a friend of mine had a member stream the other day and she was crying and she was very sad. And I am somebody that really likes to keep my pain private. I feel that my pain and what I'm upset about is very personal to me. And it's just not, they don't stay private. There's no privacy. Even if you have a member stream with already, I feel that there's a tendency to overshare and to open up and be incredibly vulnerable. And when you're in an environment of a member stream, it just opens it up more. Source, I've done member streams before, I know. One of the reasons in my past life that I didn't do too many member streams is I know that there were most likely people online that were like, she doesn't do member streams because she hates her members. No, the reason I didn't do member streams was because I knew that if I did, I would cry my eyes out. And I know this from my other coworkers in the past place who would just do a member stream, cry their eyes out, say a bunch of stuff that they regretted saying out loud, and then delete the member stream. And believe it or not, I had a point of contention about that before with somebody where I know that in the past, there had been some of my old coworkers that did member streams and then while they were in a bad mood, complained about me and then later deleted it, messaged me, regretted it, and apologized and all that stuff. But it doesn't matter because in the viewer's mind, I am now bad and I did bad thing and I made their streamer cry. Even though they then are like, oh my God, I was really emotional. I shouldn't have done that. And that's why later, I think if you look down the line, those people went out of their way to be more defensive of me, be kinder. So member and all that kind of stuff streams really, really, really make it so you're so likely to spill the beans. You're so likely to and realistically in the moment, everything's so dramatic and everything really hurts, right? But eventually you kind of realize oh, it's not a big deal. But it has, I've had a lot of soured feelings with people in the past because of things that were said in a private stream that then later I was like, man, why'd you say that? That's kind of. And even if then they tell their audience, hey, I don't actually hate her and she's actually not bad. I was just in a bad moment. It still is something that your audience really clings to. So I definitely is something that I want to be careful with. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's allowed to do member streams. Everybody's allowed to be as parasocial and as using their audience as a crutch or not. You can do whatever you want. I just know myself. I don't want to necessarily use you as a way to just dump everything in my life because I am somebody that will say things that I'll then regret. I will say things that I will regret because I am extremely dramatic. Exactly. There was a lot of tensions and we've settled it and everything is fine now. But, in the moment, it's hard because you're navigating your own friendships and your own relationships, but also you're navigating other people looking into your friendships and relationships. So I see where you're coming from here, Tara. I'm always concerned about how people might misconstrue my feelings and give me grief for just expressing. Yeah. if somebody expresses that they're upset at somebody else, right, in private, and they think, oh, this is private, there's only 200 of us here, but you're still telling 200 people about something that's really unhappy for you or something that's hurting you. And those 200 people are now taking that very personally, and then it's altering, it is stuff that really does change perspectives. Here, thank you for the supa. I like how you called almost everyone angel. I like saying angel. It's a little bit less flirty than baby. That's okay, Jinzu. You're always such a sweetheart. I love that. Member sub streams are stupid. You're forcing your community to either pony up the money or be excluded and feel like an outsider. I think that's a very dramatic take. It doesn't have to be that dramatic. It could just be, hey, I want to do something a little bit extra. That's it. It doesn't have to be that dramatic. You are completely allowed to feel that it's stupid and all that stuff. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Frankly, on Twitch, there's not really a culture of member streams. There's not really a culture of subscriber only streams on Twitch. This is something that's come from YouTube. I don't think there's anything wrong with member streams. I think anybody can do whatever they want. They can play a game, they can watch a movie. I just know for myself that in my past workplace, it typically was something that kind of became a venting ecosystem, and I want to stay away from that. Because even though you think things are private, they're never private. And that being said, there's a lot of other things that you can do that, how do I say this? I mean, I have it written today to talk. Some of the stuff I talk about with you all, sometimes I think, man, I should just start a newsletter. You can still write your unfiltered thoughts and your honest thoughts and things like that. You don't even have to paywall it. And I think the fact that it's put in writing is also seen a little bit less negatively because people will interpret your tone differently, right? It's not even self-control, Dendrick. As long as one person comes in and spreads it, that's it. It's all there. The Momo vlog. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. There's a lot of stuff that, I'd love to talk about a little bit more. I think that's why today I'm kind of in a strange mood is because I talked about it at the beginning of the stream, but hold on, before we dive away from that. Maybe the problem is a lack of understanding that a streamer is also human who makes mistakes and regrets something they said in wave of emotions. Yeah, that's another one where think about your nicest friend. At some point, your nicest, coolest friend did something stupid, or they got drunk and they puked, and maybe they yelled at you. Maybe they were hungry and they called you a dumb bitch, right? Like, let's say maybe your nicest, coolest friend was really, really hungry, and you're like, "Hey, I'm booking the restaurant." They're like, "Shut up! You're so annoying." And but unfortunately, when this happens with content, it's out there forever. And maybe, let's say 2 years from now, I yell at somebody because I'm hungry. People will go, oh, well, 5 years ago, she yelled at another person. And 3 years ago, okay, I yelled at 3 people in 5 years. Sorry, guys, That is definitely something I feel with content is you will have 10 hours of live streams, 6 days a week. And if you do something, some stuff are pretty bad, but other stuff, it's like, oh, come on, really? Like you had one weird moment of misunderstanding and it happened publicly and everybody witnessed it. That's also why you have to be really careful. I feel as you get, this is another thing I didn't understand about content creators. I used to not understand why bigger content creators kind of stick with other bigger content creators, but it's because truly the longer you are in content, there is somebody, I'm telling you right now, and this is not me being paranoid. I have talked to so many creators about this. There are people out there with a list of every single time you have ever committed any single mistake. And if you tomorrow get into a fight with somebody and somebody decides to like post about you online, they're going to add to that. They're going to be like, oh, you guys are mad at Matara because she, I don't know. Let's say Mel and I have a collab and I say something and she starts crying because it can happen, right? Mel is a lovely, sweet bean. I am a little bit misunderstanding of the situation at times. My tone of voice, her sweetness, maybe, and I say something at Mel, she takes it really serious and starts crying on stream. And suddenly there's big tweets about Matara Khan is a cruel, evil bitch who made sweet Project Melody cry. It sounds crazy, but things like that have happened before. There is somebody out there ready to attach themselves to that and be like, oh, by the way, here's every other time Matara has ever made another person cry. And it's like, ooh. So I get it why people are so closed off. It's easier to judge ourselves by intentions and others by their actions. Yeah. Matara Khan called Henya flat and she cried. Pretty much. Do I think everyone has hate watchers? Yes. Yes, I do. I actually think everybody has hate watchers, but eventually when you get bigger, people can't really hate on you. So I actually think it's a lot harder to stream when you have 20 viewers or 10 viewers or 5 viewers, because if you get one hate watcher that comes in and goes, you're dumb, You're never gonna make it. You're an idiot. Your streams are bad. You should quit. It's just for other people being like, no, you're doing great. Don't listen to them. But maybe you have had 5 viewers for 10 years and you kind of feel it. But if somebody comes in right now, right here, and they go, hey, Matara, you're bad. You should quit. I'd be like, yeah, you're right. I should. I'll never make it. You're right. Oopsie poopsie. So I do think it's a lot harder to deal with the hate when you are smaller. But I do believe everybody has some hate watchers. Absolutely.